Coming in from the cold. It's reggae. No, it's not. Hi, it's Tank Top Tuesday. That's what I'm telling you. Welcome back. It's time once again for the Comics Coffee Table. I'm going to be doing intermittent kind of episodes until I go back to work, where I can reestablish my my schedule. Until then, I'll be doing New Release Sunday and having a good time the rest of my summer, enjoying myself. But what kind of New Release Sunday will I be having? Traditionally here at Tank Top Tuesday, we review the menu of the upcoming releases that's coming out this week. Let's see. This is the Comics Coffee Table, where we take a break together. We grab a cuppa, whatever it is we're shoving under our noses today. Straighten up, you. Goodness. Bloody Cylons. We take a break together. We leave the real world problems over there. We pull up a chair to our Comics Coffee Table, grab a cuppa, whatever it is you're shoving under your nose today there, pally. It's pre-recorded, but live before a studio audience of my stuffed animals. Critical Drinker plushie. He is my microphone boom mic operator and my cameraman. Camera person? Come on, we're not politically correct in this channel, Pika. My executive producer, back from his vacation. You know, it's just, oh, what a hassle that was, huh? With all the litigation, notoriety, his subsequent deportation to Canada, and that country's refusal to accept him. It's a bit much for one Pikachu to handle, going to Acapulco and stirring up international controversy. I like the way the British say controversy. Controversy. And we are a geeky chill stream. We are. Usually, and we will get back to our usual show sooner than later, but we usually rebag, reboard, and rebox my entire collection, and it's about getting back in touch with your local comic book shop because they need our patronage. This is true. They are mom and pop brick and mortar shops, and guess what? It's not just new releases and back issues you can get there. I'm getting my bags, my boards, and my boxes at my local comic book shop. Why? Because they need our business. So I'm choosing to pay the retail markup and avoid the big box stores, which I don't go to anyway. I don't have a car. I live in Boston, where we have a pretty reliable, mediocre public transportation. I grew up in the city. I mean, my single mom, only child. She never had a car. She never got her driver's license. I got my driver's license when I was 28. Why? Yeah, I would have been fine without it, but hey, I can rent a car if I wanna, whatever. But, yeah, we are a geeky chill stream, and we like to hang out together. We like to talk about comic books. We like to talk about floppies. And so I go to leagueofcomicgeeks.com for their new release menu. And what we got this week, wow. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's 80, because there's 8 in a row. 85 new periodical publications to be purchased at our local comic book shops. They won't get them all, but it's good to see what's available and to check it out. And I have to say to you guys, wow, this is a first. I'm not buying anything this week. There's nothing this week that interests me. Nothing. Now, no, I mean, there are some things that kind of interest me. Like, one, Amazing Spider-Man 31. It's a milestone issue because it's a Legacy 925, but it's $9.99 for a 92-page funny book. Great. It's a special wedding issue, sure, but also Dan Slott's one of the writers. He's blocked me among other people on Twitter for our adjacency to stinky people. So sorry, fuck you, Dan Slott. Yeah, and seriously. And but there's one good thing about it, that we have one traditional penciler inker, because when it says artist, that's a red flag. You know that it's going right to a digital colorist. But when it says penciler and inker, that's when you know you have the more traditional combination of organic line art and this heavy reliance upon digital filters, digital shadowing, and I'm not spending my money on these on printed up webtoons anymore. I don't care. I have no place for that in my life or my collection. But John Romita Jr. is going to be inked by Scott Hanna. What a great combo. And but everyone else, it goes right for, it just has an artist credit. So when you just see the artist and digital colorist, you know that they have cut out the inker from this process. They're taking a job away from a working artist because they're cutting costs, and it's cheap, cheap, cheap. Sounds like a birdcage. Cheap, cheap, cheap. But yeah, I'm sorry. I mean, I can't be part of this because Dan Slott has blocked me on Twitter, and I'm not going to support that. So sorry, F that. There's the Superman 2023 annual for $5.99, 48 pages. And that's got a really good team. It's got Joshua Williamson. He's really decent. I mean, I don't have any problems. But again, it's all artist, colorist, colorist. And that means you don't see penciler, you don't see inker. It's all digital. And I'm just simply, I'm making a stand right here. Just here's my line in the sand. Nobody cares but me. Immortal X-Men, I'm not buying that. Spider-Man Annual #1 for $4.99. Writer is Stephanie Phillips. Again, artist, colorist. There you go. And just even looking at this cover, it's got just that the Zipatone or Ben-Day. Is it supposed to be Zipatone or Ben-Day dots? But all the little dots that you see on any of these, that's a digital filter, and it's not a. What's the difference? It's just there to, look comic booky. Because Ben-Day dots and Zipatones are associated with our genre. I mean, it's kind of like, why don't you come up with something new, since you have this huge digital unlimited scale of stuff? Do something that's impressive, not oppressive, in my humble opinion. But this is actually part 2 out of something called the Contest of Chaos. And it's just another event that, I'm not interested in. Sure. There's Miles Morales #9. I'm not buying that anyway. Who cares? But if you're a Miles Morales fan, then I hope you're enjoying it. Who's writing this? It's 28 pages for $3.99, and it's Cody Ziegler. And again, we have artist, colorist. And that's about it. Yep. And that's boring to me. Yeah. Avengers #4, $3.99. 28 pages. Jed MacKay. And I read a couple of Jed MacKay comics last week, and they were okay. And I should be picking up on something like that. But yeah, once again, it's just digital crap. Sorry. And let's see. There's Night Terrors #3. That's written by Joshua Williamson. And wow, that has 6 variant covers for an issue #3. There is no variant cover. But here, cover artists. We have Ivan Rice, cover penciler, and then you have Danny Miki as the color inker, and Brad Anderson for the cover colorist. So for the Ivan Rice cover, you have the traditional penciler inker combo, and I'm seeing that a lot for the covers too. Sometimes you'll have the A-list talent on the cover, and you're really refer to last Sunday's episode rather, about outsourcing to non-domestic talent that will take the discounted page rate and also the lazy approach of digital assisted art. So I'm just not into it. Now, here's one. I got issue number 1. I got a variant cover, and I got the foil variant cover. And it's Mark Waid's writing it, and this should be in my wheelhouse, but it's just not. I'm not biting because I believe it's one of 5. It's a 5-issue limited, maybe 6, but it's written for the trade, and it's World's Finest Teen Titans, and I just wasn't. I like the art, but as I keep saying, it's not impressing me as when it comes to the shortcuts that they take, the laziness behind. Is that fair or unfair to say? Or is it? It's just the 21st century, Sully. Get used to it, you Luddite, you old fogey. No, I mean, this is you're cutting out an artist, the inker, because it's convenient for the publisher and it's convenient for the artist. I get it that it helps. It's convenient, but it's laziness too. Sorry. I mean, it's just my humble opinion. It's my opinion. Your opinion may differ, and I hope that you are finding great stories that you like and that you can rave about. I'm just not. I'm just getting pickier because I have a space crunch. I'm overwhelmed with comics that I'm never going to read again, and these are new purchases. I did something interesting 2 weeks ago. One of my best friends, he had to move away from Boston during lockdown 2020 out to Western Massachusetts. So it's about a 2.5-hour drive. So once in a while, he's able to get out to Boston. And so I packed up a brown bag of comic books that I'm not reading. And I gave it to the kid, his 13-year-old son that I've known all of his life. I have an avuncular role. I'm an only child, so I get to play uncle to my best friend's kids and stuff. So, so the kid enjoyed Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Street Fighter from IDW. I'm glad to hear about that, and I think it's a good fate for an old comic book. Give it to the kids. See if they like it. I'm really pleased with that. But I'm not buying any more of this World's Finest Teen Titans. I might not even be buying World's Finest anymore. Just because I'm like, I'm not impressed. I mean, Dan Mora's art's good, but it's a little digitally, I'd rather, spend the time, attention, and physical space on older comics. And, let's see. There's Gunslinger Spawn for $2.99. There you go. And it's written by Todd McFarlane and art by Brett Booth, who's amazing. I've never been into Spawn. Never. Sorry, it's just not my thing. There's Night Terror's Green Lantern, $4.99 for 40 pages. And it's written by Jeremy Adams, who is writing Green Lantern. And I'm looking forward to getting back to normal Green Lantern. And, but there's, once again, it's artist, colorist. And yeah, that's it. It just even the art on Green Lantern proper, it doesn't excite me. And there's Night Terror's Robin for $4.99. There's Night Terror's Flash for $4.99. Now here's a good one. Now here's one that does interest me. It's Night Terror's Shazam. It's $4.99, 32 pages. It's written by Mark Waid, but you have penciler Roger Cruz with inker Wellington Diaz and a colorist. So of course it's going to have a digital flavor to it because of the colorist, but when you have a penciler and an inker, you have organic line, you have a better kind of scent. For me, it's tastier. It's my flavor profile. It's got that mouthfeel when I chew. It's like, certain sushis I avoid. I avoid salmon. I avoid fatty tuna, toro, because it's too chewy. I don't like the way it plays on my palate. But I love something like yellowfin tuna. I love regular tuna. I love unagi, the smoked eel. Those are the nigiri sushis that I like. But I know what I don't like. So yeah, so this is, like I said, we're going down the menu to see what we got. So I could be and should be supporting something such as Night Terror Shazam because the art. is in my wheelhouse. There's for $4.99, Night Terrors Zatanna. That's a lot of $4.99 comics, huh? I hope that you're liking Night Terrors. Let me know in the comments and in the live chat premiere. Are you enjoying Night Terrors? What's your favorite Night Terror so far? Is it going somewhere? Do you think it's going to have lasting change on, our shared universe? There's Ghost Rider Wolverine Alpha #1 for $4.99. This is the one that has the much ballyhooed Frank Miller variant cover. There's Silk #4 for $3.99. 28 pages. And that's Cindy Moon. She's part of the Spider family. There's Spirit World #4 for $3.99. And no thank you. Yep, you can go F yourself. Sorry. Hey, I'm not good enough to be a fan. Children of the Vault #1 for $4.99. That's 36 pages, and that looks like something that could be fun. That's a Hickman thing, and Jonathan Hickman. And let's see, there's Batman Incorporated for $3.99. #11. There's Wildcats #10. Here's one. Captain Marvel Dark Tempest #2. And I gave issue 1 to the kid, and I hope he likes it. But I'm not getting issue #2 because I've already given #1 away. And this is written by Ann Nocenti, and I thought it was okay, but once again, it's just the digital art. Here, drink every. I gotta know. Let's make a drinking game. Drink every time I grouse about digital art. A drink. Yeah, but I'm not impressed by the art. There are 7 variant covers. Great. I know, huh? For an issue #2 of a limited series that's written for the trade. I mean, is there a variant cover? Is it some kind of scheme? Yes, indeed. Most indubitably. There's here's one that interests me too, from afar, but it's the Batman and Scooby-Doo mysteries. It's a 12-issue limited series, and issue #11 just came out. This looks cute. No variant covers. And, I mean, that just sounds fun. You know what I mean? To have a team-up of detectives. And I've seen Batman, Scooby-Doo mashups before. I grew up with the Scooby-Doo adventures, and they did have a season. And this was in the 1970s. Of Saturday morning cartoons, and Scooby-Doo had guest stars like the Harlem Globetrotters or the Three Stooges, and also Batman and Robin. So it's been done before, so but that's cute. I mean, it's putting the fun in funny books, and I'm a big fan of fun when it comes to our to funny books. And let's just go down the rest of the list now. We're starting to get into just different publishers, and let's see, because the ones at the top of this list here are I guess it's sorted by most ordered. So there's that. Let's see, so You've Been Canceled #3 by Mad Cave Studios for $4.99. Not buying it. It appears to be a 4-issue limited. I bought issue #1, and I passed on 2. And I don't want to spend my money on printed up webtoons anymore. The digitalitis that I keep talking about, it's a sickness, and I have it. I have the fever for the flavor of organic line and proper art. Just why enable laziness? I know it's convenient for the artist. It's convenient for the publisher. It's inconvenient for me, and it's got to be inconvenient eventually for the local comic book shops to, have wow, why can't this stuff sell? We're gonna have to put this in the dollar bin. Oh, I'm sorry. I wish I could help you with that, but I can't buy this stuff anymore. No thanks. And as always, there's an Archie comic in here for $9.99, and Archie, Betty or Veronica? Veronica. please. Thank you. And it's a $9.99 Comics Digest. I never see this comic book. It's 192 pages. And yeah, I never see this used to see these Archie Digest comics at the checkout counter at your grocery store back when, you know, magazine distributors cared to put things in line of sight of small people with, you know, Ma, can I buy that? Can I have the comic book? Yeah, I mean, baby cries, mama buys. Used to be some kind of like thing. I read that on the back of my ice cream truck growing up in the South Boston projects. I think that's a really salient piece of wisdom. So yeah, and besides that, there's just a whole bunch of independent presses, and I wish them luck. You know, why not? I don't wish anyone harm. I don't really tear down people here on this station. I just disapprove of people that block on Twitter for political reasons and adjacency. I think that's the weakest sauce you can get. And how are you supposed to get people to want to buy your books? Aren't comics for everyone? Are they? No, not really. I mean, there's My Little Pony, but I'm not a brony. There is a My Little Pony #1 out today. And it's not the one by T. Franklin. And maybe it is, because it's got this is the best of Pinkie Pie. It's a one-shot, #1. Oh, it's so adorable. Yeah, I mean, but it's just, you know. But yeah, I mean, there's nothing. This is weird. I've got nothing to buy this week. Wow. So what am I going to do Sunday? I don't know. I actually, I do know. I have a bag of books, of comic books, floppies, that I bought from the dollar bin. So what had happened last weekend, I went to Boston Fan Expo 2023. That was fun. I got to see a couple of friends of mine in my local fellowship. And I got a photograph with one of my heroes, William Shatner, Captain Kirk, of the original, the real Captain Kirk, of the original series, the animated series, and of the Star Trek movies. Yes, Captain Kirk, Bill Shatner, also T.J. Hooker and Denny Crane of Boston Legal, and he was a very nice guy. He's 92 years old. And this was, for me, I felt like this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. I also... Is it here? Oh, it's actually... It's over there. They were $60 each, so I brought 2 DVDs, and I ended up only choosing one. But Peter Weller, movie star of RoboCop and of Buckaroo Banzai, 1984 movie, cult classic. I got to spend a few minutes talking to Dr. Weller, and yeah, I just couldn't see spending $120 in cash, no cards accepted at the signature booths. But I got this signed. This is my Shout Factory copy of Buckaroo Banzai. This is really fun. It's a good movie. Well, that's debatable. I know. Yet, this is fun, and I'm very glad and happy. He's 75 years old, and was a big part of growing up. He was also RoboCop as well, in RoboCops 1 and 2, and yeah, that's what I spent my money on. So it was $143 for a photo op with Bill Shatner, and another $60 for this, and he ended up spending so much money at these cons, but I had a great time at the convention. I had a 3-day pass. I only went Friday and Saturday. By Sunday, I was a little conned out. Plus, it's in a place of Boston called the Seaport, and on Sundays there's a Sunday schedule on public transportation. That means it's fewer and far between, and it's a little bit of a hassle getting out there. Well, it's actually, to be sure, it's not that much of a hassle. Friday it wasn't. Saturday, I felt as though I had a good wind on my back. And that's what I always say. It's like, oh, that's when you make all your connections. You have to switch from the red line to the silver line, and then on the way home, the silver line to the orange line to the green line. It's like you're taking the whole bloody Crayola box. But I had a great time at con. I love seeing the cosplayers. On Saturday, I went and in a bit of cosplay. I wore my ooh, that means the turkey's done, huh? I wore my Star Trek blue science officer shirt with some black chinos and some black Chelsea boots, and I went. That is the lightest cosplay I could muster up on. I was going to go as someone from Buck Rogers from the 1979 NBC TV show Buck Rogers in the 25th Century, starring Gil Gerard and Erin Gray, who both of them will be at Dragon Con at the end of the month. And I didn't lose enough weight. I was supposed to. I didn't want to look chubby in these clothes. So I don't want. But yeah. So I went. So Friday, I got my picture with Shatner. You might have seen that on the community tabs. And I thought I would look better if it was typical. So I did not wear my Star Trek cosplay, but I did that the next day, and I got to see all the wonderful Star Wars cosplayers. I also got, I know it's hot. It's summertime, yo. I'm melting. And yes, I'm drinking hot coffee. Hello. Indeed. But it was great. It was con. It was, dollar bins. I dived through so many dollar bins. I only did, I should have looked for more, like on my list. Like, I'm looking for Amazing Spider-Man 611. I'm looking for this or that or the other thing. I didn't see any old bronze. There's a big lack of Bronze Age stuff, man. So the Bronze Age stuff is getting more and more. It's getting more and more harder to find, like in that dollar bin condition. Like over at WickedCon and last year, it was easier to find some Bronze Age babies in the dollar bins, but it's the dollar bins are like really populated now with late copper to current because there's so many comics out there. Yeah. So I ended up only getting 13 funny books. Actually, 12, come to think about it. But we're going to talk about that more on Sunday because we need to have a show on Sunday. And, but yeah, that's about it. It is an odd comic book week. So what am I doing tomorrow on New Comic Book Day? I'm going out to lunch with my parents. I'm taking them to the Outback Steakhouse. We're having ribeyes, and we're going to spend some quality time together because I love my parents and I miss them. And my mom and my stepdad, and who this season is dedicated to. And so instead of buying comic books, I'm going to be buying time with my parents, and that's going to be nice because we're all getting older, and I only see them a couple of times a year now, and it's just I don't know. Life catches up. All we have are excuses, but make time for your loved ones, even. And your friends too, and your friends should be and your friends aren't inviting you to their social functions. You have to start maybe start thinking about what's wrong with them, what's wrong with you. I mean, you haven't changed at all. You've changed too much. It's all bullshit. Either you want people in your life or you don't. And so one of the most bitter pills for me to swallow has been just another year, another summer, no invites to barbecues, and no invites to parties. And I'm an only child. I spent a lot of time alone, and it's tough to keep your mind above the stinky thinking that just like you're unwanted. I mean, I'm not saying this to curry sympathy more of like, wow, another summer. No invites to any barbecues. It's hard not to take that personally. It's hard not to you know what I mean? Yeah. So, but just do the best of what you can with what you got. And I'm blessed enough that got to go to con, and I got to see a couple of people from the fellowship. It's going to be harder and harder to keep in touch with them because there aren't very. We usually meet up. We have meetups here in Boston with the Northeast people. There, we got a bunch of people from Connecticut that are willing to drive up, and then there are a bunch of people from around the Boston area. I'm blessed to have about a group of about 8 to 10 people sometimes. Sometimes there's like 6 or 8 of us. We meet up for movies and like superhero movies and like John Wick. And there's just not a lot of movies coming out that bring us together. And so, just I don't know. I don't have answers. All I have are questions. And sometimes you might not even want to ask some questions like, why don't you invite me over anymore? Because maybe you don't want to know the answer. Maybe that might be harder to hear than anything else. Oh, well, it's been, thank you so very much for tuning in today. We're talking about comic books, and we're going to talk about comic books as much as we can. We're going to get back to a more regular schedule when the school year starts, because I work in academia, and I seem to do better. But still, August is August on YouTube. Seriously, I mean, people are out and about and doing things. So, don't sit around feeling sorry for yourself, Sully. Get out and do something. And it's harder than it looks. Well, thank you so very much. God bless. Namaste. Good luck. Please like and subscribe. I would love to earn your subscription. We make content here. We talk about cooking. We talk about spirituality and gratitude. And we talk about pop culture and comics. And I'm going to be trying different kind of forms of content more and more. Maybe more movie reviews. Maybe more hot takes. Getting me in trouble with the people out there. Indeed. But hey, they're just opinions. And everyone's got one. And we have to respect our differences. And if we can't, then, geez, I don't know what to say. As I like to say, I don't have any answers. I just got more questions. Thank you so very much. God bless. Namaste. Good luck. We will see you again in those funny pages. Ciao. Bye-bye.